Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I am Winston Chester, and I am so glad you're here this morning to start off a great week in the Florida Panhandle with all the outdoor things going around. So let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard's company up there doing a great job keeping us cool, because it needs to, because it's high today, 91, and the low is 78. Water temperature stays at 85 degrees. Let's take a look at our moon phase, our Monday moon phase now. Our full moon today is the 9th. As you can see, we're approaching a new moon. Our full moon this month now will be the 22nd. Be toward the end. That'll be the August full moon, also known as the sturgeon moon. And we went over that last week. Why it's called the sturgeon moon, because of the old fishing villages catching a lot of fish, a lot of sturgeon on the full moon. I thought that was interesting. I did not know that until I researched it. And remember, you're never too old to learn. Okay, our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today, again, we're looking at a great tides. We had great tides over the weekend. Today's the 9th. Really good tides today and tomorrow. Going and looking ahead to the weekend, not very good tides for the weekend. So if you're a tidal fisherman, get up there and get out there today and tomorrow and doing it. High will be actually at 10:27 this morning. This is really good to be fishing right now as the day breaks, and the first couple of hours this morning is going to be good. And then take a break at lunch, and it's going to be a strong outgoing tide until about 8:45 tonight. So it's good tidal flow. And our winds will be coming out southeast at about 8. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's add a name. First thing this morning, if we don't, I'm going to forget it. So we're adding Mike Westbrook from Panama City. You're in the pot, and he bought some stuff from the Panhandle Outdoor Shop, and you get another entrance in there. So good job, Mike. And we've got that ad coming up, that spot coming up this week, and it's really special. Whitney, it's pure Whitney. So I know you're going to enjoy the little 30-second spot. I just got a kick out of it. So anyway, let's get started. The FWC announced that the Python Challenge has now been concluded, and I checked it out. Folks, this is really cool. Another successful python hunt by the FWC, and I started looking at statistics. Here's a picture of all the folks right here. This is all the folks that won the money, and they were in the money. All got checks and all. The Python Challenge. I don't see anybody I know in there, but I'm sure if some of my friends would have gone down there, they would place. Here's the statistics. Okay, I'm gonna go with who won what. First place. Whoever got the most pythons was awarded $10,000, and Charles Dotton, whatever, caught 41 pythons. 41. And then there were different categories. They had a professional category and a novice, but the amount of money was the same. In a professional, Donna Khalil got 19, and then on the novice, they got 6. So then second place was $750, out of 15 to the professional, and 2. See, we could have done that. You would have stumbled over 2 of them. And then what was this? This is the longest, 15 feet 5 inches. Dusty Crumb, 15 feet 5 inches. That's a pretty good size. Look at here, the novice got one longer, 15 feet 9 inches. That's pretty strong right there. And then I think second place right there. So anyway, and that was the deal. That was the Python Challenge. So that was over with. I wanted to talk about that, and that was really some neat stuff they were doing. I kept up with it, and I felt really strong about them doing that. It's just an invasive, and I read the statistics. They got having thousands they've captured since they started catching the Burmese python. Now let's jump from the python into the Florida blue crab, and I mentioned last week going over to Jerry Forehands and Karen Forehands, and I talked about the size of the crab. Y'all didn't believe me when I said it was this big, but they were huge. In fact, Jerry sent me some pictures. Look at here. This is how big those crabs were. This is East Bay crabs. You will not find something this big in a seafood market, I promise you. I mean, look at that. And I just want to show you, and he got there's a bottle of water. I had to compare the size to them. Those are huge. All right, and getting toward the finished product, and we had a feast. And they were, I mean, even after they're cooked, to see how big they are. I mean, well, and Gail loves crabs, and here we go right here. And we just had a feast, and we just brought back a lot of memories on Gail and her aunt Alice down at St. George Island. They would do that a lot, and just the thing about eating crab with a group of friends, you take your time and you're talking, and you're not just eating all the time because you got to pick the crab meat out and try to get the shells out. But it was just a lot of fun, and we were talking about all kind of things. Just a little crab boil. That's why the crab boil is so popular here in the South, because you get to really take time cooking. You enjoy catching them. You take time cooking them, and you around the fellowship with the husbands, wives, and friends, and all, and just sitting around talking, and it's a lot of fun. So again, thank you, Jerry and Carolyn, for your hospitality. Also, the crab, we're talking about the lifespan of a crab, and it's about 3 to 4 years. Now, on the Florida blue crab, but I was looking on the king crab. I wrote down the king crab is 10 to 20 years. The hermit crab that we have around here, their lifespan is about 20 years. So, and the only thing that really hurts the blue crab is really not, it's not, I mean, we have a limit now, but, commercial guys really, catch a lot of them. But see, those really big ones, they won't even fit in a trap like that. And I might be one that's so big, commercial, they couldn't fit in a commercial crab trap. So what happened? The only two things going to really hurt them is I wrote it down right here. The habitat loss. This is what the scientists were telling us now. The habitat loss, number one. Losing the grass and the shoreline and development, that's really going to hurt them. And then the second thing was nutrients. They call it nutrient loading. We call it pollution, or septic overflow, nutrients, phosphate nutrients, and all those kind of things. All the fertilizer coming off of the bayfront homes, all along all the bay systems, and all that hurts the crab. So the natural predators, they don't really have any. Okay. So that's your crab story. They were really delicious. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Speaking of crabs, I want to, the first thing I thought about, of course, was Crab Island over here. We always talk about Crab Island. That's the Destin Bridge right there, Crab Island. And we were looking at it during the break. I was zooming in on it and showing it to Jeff, and all of a sudden, there's a church at Crab Island. Did y'all know that? So on Sunday mornings, I guess if you're out there, you can go to church at Crab Island. I don't know which one of those boats or the church, but anyway, it's interesting. But I was talking about Choctawhatchee Bay. While I'm on Choctawhatchee Bay, on Friday's fishing report, let's move in a westerly direction. I was talking about the different bridges and all, Cinco Bayou. This is Cinco. I was talking about fishing off the bridges and all, and this is in the western end. We don't want to go that far over. I know some of y'all watch us and all in that area, but those two bridges are two good bridges to fish from. I can promise you, I've heard some good reports over the years. That's Cinco Bayou, okay? Now, I want to go, that's on the crabs. I want to go to, if I can find it, Lake Talquin. Y'all remember us talking about Lake Talquin and how much fun it is and all to fish, and it sort of, I consider almost my home lake, because that's where we sort of grew up in that area. And here's the dam, okay? There's a dam at Lake Talquin. Now, there's a road up here, Pat Thomas Park right there in the center. That's where my granddad used to run that boat landing right there for a long time. It was just special to us. But anyway, there's a road up here, right, I want to get to. There's a road up here that sort of goes to the dam. The story, and I was talking about, fishing around the dams and all, it just reminded me, yesterday I was thinking about this story. I always sort of reflect while I talk about it on the show, think about what I want to talk about on the next show. But I wanted to tell you this quick story about the Lake Talquin Dam when it was built. This story was told to me at a family reunion years ago by one of my aunts who's passed away now, but so the generation she came from. And at that time, there was one school in the area, and they would have to catch a bus and she lived down there, around Lake Talquin, and close to where the dam was built. There was just one road that sort of came in and out. And she told the story almost every reunion. I wish I had recorded it, because she was so cute telling us. She was in like elementary school. Now this is country back in not a lot of development and all. But so everybody was at the schoolhouse, and when she got in, there was a new teacher that year. I forgot what grade. It was elementary school, and they always talked about they would live on Lake Talcum Dam Road, and that's where and the teacher was going around asking everybody where they lived and all. And now Elizabeth, where do you live? I live on a dam road. And the teacher got upset because that's what they all called it, Lake Talcum Dam Road. And she got in trouble with the teacher, but she got all embarrassed and all. She remembered that to her. She lived 80-something years old. She always remembered that story. So when I talk about Lake Talcum, that's and living on the Lake Talcum Dam Road, that was what she was talking about at school. So I want to share that story with you. Okay, moving on. And I tell stories. And in my class and all, I'll tell stories that just popped up like that. And that's my students always liked them, but I always had a captive audience with my students. They couldn't leave, so they had to listen to my stories. So they pretended they enjoyed them anyway. The other thing, Mike Edwards came by the house, and Mike is doing amazing work on his fishing lures. And I just wanted to. He's an artist in doing this. You remember the video about a month ago? We went up there and showed everything how he did it with the Dremel and the carving and the time he took and all. And he watches the show. He and his buddies watch the show on a regular basis. And he wanted to do something. He brought some lures by. Bought a little box of lures right here. And he'd heard me mention that we'll be giving away a late summer sweepstakes or a fall sweepstakes. We're going to give away a basket full of stuff. And he wanted to donate a lure to go in each basket. So, Mike, we appreciate that. And this is these are handmade, and these are on our shop page, and we're going to add more. The killifish is on there. This is called a Panhandle rattler, okay, with a lip and all. This is cool stuff. Once I get enough in my collection, I'm gonna start fishing with them. But Mike, thank you for your generosity, and these are handmade. We're local, stuff from Howard Creek or the Choctawhatchee River, with just stuff he finds. And it's just, I'm telling you, this is some special stuff. And you want to talk about a nice Christmas gift to give someone, that is it. So anyway, we'll be giving away that basket as soon as we get some more stuff in it. Also, I noticed that Boxy brought them in Netcraft when I was a younger man. I was doing some of the things Mike did. But Netcraft is a company you can buy all the little supplies from, little beads and all that. And I started doing that a long time ago, but Netcraft has been in business a long time. I got a kick out of seeing that. So let's see. And if you want to learn how to make them, I would certainly get with Mike about it, because he can do it. He can show you how to do it. Now, whether or not you want to spend time doing it. Let's see. We got it on, Jeff. Okay. I got a couple more pictures I want to show you. That's how you learn about like an apprenticeship. The pictures, let me see, I wanted to show you this one right here. I'll show this other, this is right out of Cape San Blas. Did I show this other day? I don't remember. This was last week, okay? So that's last week's picture. I didn't show this one. I was telling about the king bite was chewing. They call it, the captain says it's chewing. That's the B&B charters. But I talked about it on Friday's fishing report, and look at the king mackerel. Now that's a family. I don't know the family, but I do know they had a ball doing it. They would have great memories, and that's a family photo right there to put up. And that's the best way to do it. Get a charter boat, get one of our charters, and that was B&B, and take care of it. Okay, this week it finally stopped raining. I think I'll go mow. And there's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth, and the grass is growing pretty high. And I feel the same way. I had someone offer to take care of some things and all, but for my yard, I said it just grows too fast. But anyway, let's see. I got one more picture. I do some school board stuff, as you know, and I love being on the school board and all. And we opened up a Walsingham Academy last week, and I was going just visiting the classrooms, because I love how the teachers in preschool, especially elementary teachers, how they just amazing putting a room together and all. I love going by and seeing them all, and I know quite a few of them, and a lot of them been my former students and all, but they just had that energy and all. And I know, and that's something else I want to bring up. I had it written down. this week a lot of schools are opening up, so drive careful. They're really good about that, but to remind these teenagers, because they don't register with them on these school zones a lot as it does us adult drivers. Just slow down, drive slow around all these school bus stops and all. But when my kids were little, I have 5 grandkids, and our very favorite book was 5 Little Monkeys, because I would name each one of them little monkeys. So when they were little together, I read that book, and when I was visiting the school the other day, I was in one of the classrooms, and they of course had a whole stack of books. And look at here what I found: 5 Little Monkeys sitting in a tree. So if you grandparents might know what I'm talking about if you've read that book. But anyway, I took that picture and I sent it to all the grandkids and all, and they all had a chuckle off of it. So anyway, school is starting, so be ready and help encourage these kids in their school endeavors. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at this, 12:28 to 2:28. We just went through that one, but look at here, right here in the middle of the day, 12:53 to 2:53. So that's going to coincide with that tide really going out really strong. So that's where it ties together. And it's going to be hot, so have some kind of cover. All right, now we talk about the Panhandle all the time, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but a while back, some of the big developers and all wanted to change the name to Northwest Florida. They didn't like the term Panhandle because it sort of has to them sort of redneck tint to it or whatever. So the big developers and all, you'll see it'll sneaking in every now and then. Even the airport, they didn't name it the Panhandle Airport, it's Northwest. So they like to refer to this as the Great Northwest, and the Northwest this and Northwest that. It will always be the Florida Panhandle to me, and I know all of you real Floridians and real folks that come in, the real folks, they don't worry about the development and all. It's the Florida Panhandle. But I got to thinking about that. About how Florida is labeled. It has two connotations: the coastal labels and then the geographical label. And it has a lot to do with outdoorsmen, because when we talk about fishing different areas and all. So bear with me. I enjoy doing this little Google thing. I mean, this little drawing right here, or not Google, but this drawing. I'm gonna draw. Look at here. I'm gonna draw Florida. Now, God bless me with a lot of talents, and singing and drawing was not one of them. That's Florida, okay? All right, that's Florida. Now, I'm gonna change colors. Okay, now I'm gonna give you, let's go to coastal names. This area right up in here, okay, this is called the First Coast. Anybody wanna know, guess why? Because that's St. Augustine, that area right there was the first coast that really developed in that first settlement ever in Florida. Now, this area right in here, this next area, let's change colors again, let's go to green. This area right in here, okay, it's called, from Daytona around to Melbourne, it's called a space, S-P-A-C-E, space. Y'all got that, space? Okay. Now, the reason it's called a space coast is because of Cape Canaveral, later named it Kennedy Space Center. And the coolest thing about that whole situation is the area code is 321, and if you go for launching and all, and then the other, I just thought that was cool. And then the other areas, let's see, this is treasure. So that's a treasure coast right there, and they found coins and all washed ashore. And then you have the sun. I'm gonna keep going sun, and then you have the nature coast. I'm putting nature. This is nature right here, which is a natural area. This is all nature coast. And then one of the funniest stories of all, let's go right here. This area right in here, okay, that area right there is called the Forgotten Coast. And really, let me tell you the story how I got that name. That's forgotten, okay? The reason it got that name, and then of course we're called the Emerald Coast on the coastline. In the early 90s over in Tallahassee, the tourist development, all the tourist industry and all was trying to push tourism like we needed it, but they named all these coasts, and we were named Emerald Coast from St. Joe on all the way to Pensacola was the Emerald Coast, but they forgot the Apalachicola and Carabel area. They just didn't give them a name. They had a nature coast south of there, like Cedar Key and all. So it flipped on them. They ended up, they forgot about us, so they started calling it the Forgotten Coast. And that's how they got the name from Tallahassee. The big tourist folks over there, just, they forgot about them. So anyway, that was the story on that. But I'm gonna draw one more. But on the actual geographical region, I'm gonna run out of time. On the geographical region again, this is okay. I made the Panhandle bigger. I feel like we're to be bigger. Okay, this is right here. This is peninsula. Okay. Then this area here, the other area, of course, is going to be called. This is like the Big Bend, where the actual state turns, and then of course, we are in the Florida Panhandle, right there. That's the geographical, and then the Big Bend. I put Big Bend right here. Okay. So anyway, that's the geographical regions, and so anyway, I'm proud to be part of that. Listen, I've run out of time. I had 3 or 4 other things to talk about. If I start drawing, I enjoy doing that drawing. It's just really cool. I just want you to understand on the coastal systems how that area around the Space Coast, there's some excellent fishing in there around Melbourne and all, the Mosquito Lagoon. I've talked about it before. The Pompano Run on the Atlantic coast on that side is strong. And it's really great fishing over there. I don't get to do much of it as I used to with some friends and all, but it's really good. So, and then, of course, we're going to end up here in Panhandle. But okay, I've run out of time. Tomorrow, we're going to be having some pictures of the fishing trip and all. Then we've got all kind of stuff coming on. I've got several things that are left off. We're going to start talking about scalloping, and then some of the equipment you're going to use. You're going to take scalloping. You don't think you're going to use something like this, but I guarantee you will. And I've got to get a band on it. But we'll talk about this tomorrow. We're going to run out of time. We appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors as always, and if you want to enter, just go buy something in the shop and we'll enter your name again. You have a great day. You enjoy the great outdoors. Do something good today for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.